Hello, Mr. Nichols. This is Jerome Gibson, the person you are working for on recording this audiobook. And what I'm doing, I'm sending you a video to go over exactly what I wanted you to do for this particular project because I did send it to you as a message. And I don't believe that I may have explained it well. So this is what I want to do. First thing, I don't know how this appears on your end, but I'm first going to click on the project, the more than a game, and then more than a game of the beginning. So the combo book. That would be the first thing that I would like to address. Okay, now, from what you have already started, I appreciate it. It was very well done, very well spoken. But there were a few things that needed to be changed. Okay, now the first two things. For chapters 2 and 3, you do not say chapter 2 or chapter 3. Like for instance, when I click here on chapter 1,
Chapter 1.
you see how it starts off with chapter 1. But when I get to chapter 2,
Game.
chapter 2 does not start off saying chapter 2. So I need you to add chapter 2 to chapter 2, and then you also didn't do it for chapter 3.
Let me help you with that.
Okay, so now, again, all the rest of the chapters, you start off with the word chapter, the chapter number, except for chapters 2 and 3. So what I need for you to do is to put chapter 2 in for chapter 2 and chapter 3 in for chapter 3. The rest of the recording was great. So what I noticed here was from chapters 1 all the way down to chapter 16, everything was fine. It was nothing wrong with it. Everything went fine except for in chapters 2 and 3 where you needed to say chapter 2 and chapter 3. But then when we get down here to chapter 17, then what happens? So again, what I was saying with chapter 17, there was a couple little errors with chapter 17, but I don't think it was that bad. So what I need for you to do, I need for you to open up the document that I sent for the combo book as far as the manuscript. And I need you to go down to page 91. And I need you to go near the bottom. You see at the bottom, at the very bottom, it starts a new paragraph, but I need you to go up like 4 sentences before this last paragraph. Now, on my end, I highlighted in red the parts that I need you to change. But this is what happens here. On chapter 17, around the 3-minute 36 mark, you double speak, I knew him. So let me pull that up now. Now it's at 324. I couldn't get it exactly at 336, but I'll show you. And when you will hear it, I'll stop it. So here we go.
I noticed that he was not hanging as much with the other fellas either, but I simply dismissed it and didn't concern myself with it. Nonetheless, Los was not about to settle for just half of what he used to earn. I knew him, and
Okay. So as you see here, it said I knew him twice. So that needs to be corrected. And it's about the 3-minute 36-second mark up to the 3-minute 38-second mark. Okay, next. Or. Now, or is a part, this or here is a part of the original manuscript. But then I see here that it should have actually been of. So if you could change or to of, that would be great. But if you can't, I will understand you leaving as or. But just in case you can, it'll be at the 3-minute 39-second mark. So what I'll do is I'll play it. So, starting at 336, you have to get rid of the one of the I knew hymns. And then here at about 339, change or to of. So let's listen here.
it was only a matter or time before.
You see how I said matter or time? It should have been matter of time. So that was a mistake on my part. But again, if you could change it, great. If you can't change it, I totally understand. Okay, so now that took care of chapter 17. Now, chapter 19 was where the next error occurred. So chapter 18 is fine. So what I need you to do on the combo book manuscript, I need you to turn to page 99 and look at the very last sentence on that page that started with "I didn't know what." And that is, I put it in red, and it goes over to page 100. Now, in the recording, at about the 6 minute 13-second mark, it's supposed to read, "I didn't know what to think, and I knew Los was not too happy about that." And then, of course, the rest of the sentence. However, you read something else. So I want to play that for you to let you see that that needs to be corrected. And of course, I could not get it directly at the 6 minute 13-second mark, but I'm going to play it so you can see where it comes in at.
So silent I could hear the proverbial pin hit the ground. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. I was standing here, and yet I wasn't. I'm sure you know the feeling. The thought didn't even occur to me that he would want me to fill Trey's shoes. I didn't want to think, and I knew Los was not too happy about that.
Okay. So, like I said, with that sentence there, you just need to, well, that first part of the sentence before the comma, you need to change it to reflect what's in red here and what's on the manuscript that you have. And again, that's from chapter 19. Now, there is another part on chapter 19 on page 101. So we'll go down here to page 101. And then, now on page 101, I put in bold and red the word that needs to be changed. It was impossible. And it comes down to about the fourth paragraph. And it says, "So many guys I know said they want out, but they do stupid stuff to make it impossible." Now, on the recording, you said possible. In the recording, it was at 9 minutes, 18 seconds. So I'm going to play that for you. And of course, I couldn't get at the 9 minute, 18-second mark. So I'm going to play it so you can hear it. And then you'll know where to change it from possible to impossible.
You don't ask too many questions. You never try to advance beyond where you are. You just do your work and leave it alone. I like that. So many guys I know say they want out, but they do stupid stuff to make it possible for them to.
Right. So you heard that it said possible instead of impossible. So I would need you to go back and change that possible to impossible. Now, the next one is on chapter 22. So turn to page 113 in the combo book manuscript. And it's at the very top. It's actually the first 8 seconds of chapter 22's recording, where you said the word September instead of saying the word semester. So I have it highlighted here. It's right before the word finals. It's the beginning of the second sentence. So let me play it for you so you can hear it.
Chapter 22. Valencia and I were studying for finals. September final.
So you just heard it says September, and you need to put semester instead of September. So that's like the only thing wrong with chapter 22. Now, next we will go to chapter 23. So what you would need to go to is page 116. So we go to page 116, which is actually this page here. And okay, as you see here, I have it highlighted, the area I want you to look at. But what it is, you put a pause between the boss, and it kind of takes away the meaning of what that sentence is supposed to say. And it's at the 1 minute 46-second mark. So we need to get rid of that pause. So it's near the bottom of page 116. It's like, what, the third paragraph from the bottom here. And it's the boss that you need to change. So I'm going to play it for you so you can hear the pause that needs to be gotten rid of. So of course I couldn't get it at the 1 minute 46 second mark. So let me play it until we get there.
And walked in with a bag holding $80,000. I figured giving the Connect 2 weeks of money up front would ease the tension of my exiting. The Connect motioned for me to sit down. I sat directly across from him and started to speak. I really need to talk with you in private. Who do you think you are coming in here demanding private time with? The boss?
Right. You see how that pause there? And when he was saying private time, it would have sounded a lot better just saying private time with the boss without putting that pause in there. So that's why I want you to get rid of that pause. And that was around the 1 minute 46 second mark, which you can see for chapter 23. Now, the next thing, we will go to chapter 27. So we will go to, on chapter 27, we will go to page 132. So everything else before that seems fine to me. So just to let you know, go here to page 132. Trying to hurry up and get there. Let's see, is this 132? Yes, this is 132. Okay, now. Okay, so again, you need to go to page 132, and it's chapter 27, and it's two places that we need to change. One is at the 19-second mark, and then also at the 52-second mark. And you notice here I have them highlighted. This is the beginning of, let me see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth sentence. And then down here, we look at, he looked at me and I tried. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play this for you because you changed consume to confuse, and then you didn't say the word I before tried. So let's take a look at that, chapter 27. So first the 19-second mark.
Chapter 27. It was Trey. I couldn't believe that he was here. I knew he wasn't dead, but still, it was like seeing a ghost. I had no idea he had been released. I was so confused with getting...
Okay, so he said confused, and I need you to say consume. Okay, now we have to go to the 52-second mark.
out the game and being with Valencia, that I was not prepared for his return. In light of the events surrounding him, I truly didn't expect to see him again. Trey smiled as he kicked Los' lifeless body and said, "Well, it's about time you got what was coming to you." He continued to speak to Los like he could hear him. "And let this be a lesson to you." Trey kicked Los's body again, this time a bit harder. The fellas laughed boisterously. He looked at me and tried to ease the mood.
Yeah, so it says and tried it. It's supposed to be an I tried to ease the mood. So that's about the 52-second mark. So that's it from chapter 27. Now chapter 28, we'll move on to page 135. So on page 135, yes, when I went over chapter 28, it just kept repeating. I mean, at first it was the first minute, and then as I kept listening to it, it just kept repeating a lot of the sentences and paragraphs. So I was just thinking that you may need to re-record chapter 28 altogether. And I'm hoping that, that won't be an issue, but when I listened to it, it just kept repeating. So the last thing would be chapter 29. Now with chapter 29, we're looking at page 142. Let's go down here to 142. Let's see, it should be 142 here. Okay, on page 142, we have some of this passage that is reading the same. So here I highlighted again and bolded what part that needs to be corrected. Now around the 7-minute 13-second mark of chapter 29, it seems as though you repeat this whole stanza again. And so you repeat it one time and then you finish reading everything else perfectly. So I'm just going to show it to you here. But remember, I couldn't get it at the 7:13 mark. I think it goes up to like from 7:13 to 7:35, then it repeats and then it goes on fully. So I'll let you listen to it right now.
He was getting up. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I took a bullet for you over some mess that you got us in. So I think I deserve at least 5 minutes of your time. My godfather sat down. I'm trying to protect you from what's coming your way. All of us are going to die, but the question is, where are you going to spend eternity? We all know there's a God. No matter how much we try to deny, God put that in us. I know you haven't been in a church since you were 11 and I was 13, but think about what you did when you thought David was dying. You prayed to God.
Okay, now that covered this whole stanza from 7:13 to 7:35. Now he just said God was his last word. Now watch, it goes back to I'm trying.
I'm trying to protect you from what's coming your way. All of us are going to die.
It's repeating the same
where are you
thing.
going to spend eternity? We all know there's a God. No matter how much we try to deny, God put that in us. I know you haven't been in a church since you were 11 and I was 13, but think about what you did when you thought David was dying. You prayed to God.
Okay, I'll stop here. Now, what you probably could do, if you listen to this over again, whatever machine you're using, from 7:13 to 7:35, if you got rid of that and then went from 7:35 on, as far as the 7-minute 35-second mark, if you take from 7 minutes 13 seconds to 7 minutes 35 seconds, if you got rid of that, then what comes after that, which is the repeater, it goes on, it flows. So watch this.
You know that God is real.
So now you see that it went further. So if we go back again, just to recap that, let me go back here. Okay, the 7 minute. Now, just to go over that one more
He was
time.
getting up. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I took a bullet for you over
Now watch
some
it at
mess that you got us in.
7:13.
So I think I deserve at least 5 minutes of your time. My godfather sat down. I'm trying to protect you from what's coming your way. All of us are going to die, but the question is, where are you going to spend eternity? We all know there's a God. No matter how much we try to deny, God put that in us. I know you haven't been in a church since you were 11 and I was 13, but think about what you did when you thought David was dying. You prayed to God.
So now, if you just took from 7:13 to 7:35 and got rid of that, and then started from the 7:35, after you got rid of the 7:13 to 7:35, then it would start back with what you have
I'm
here.
trying to protect you from what's coming your way.
And then it will go on and complete all of the rest of the book. So again, that's all of the changes that I saw initially with this book. So once you put these changes in, I'm going to re-listen to it again, and then I will see if there's any other changes, but I doubt it. It'd probably be like one or two things past what I just sent you here. But I am going to send you another video because I also need to talk about how you will use this combo book to do the two separate standalone books. So this is it. And if you have any questions, please message me. Thank you. Bye.